right now, I've been wanting to get into a Bitcoin discussion, and so I grabbed one of our friends here of the network who hasn't been on in several months. YouTuber Davinci J is with us right now. Davinci, thank you for joining us here.
Hi, Proof. How you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Hey, it's been a while. Sorry about that.
Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. I've been actually quite busy. I had a lot of things happen in my life. A lot of crazy things happen, and it turned out to be actually a net positive in the end. I've lost a lot of weight and I've made a lot of money, and I'm doing very well. And I'm gonna do even more. I'm gonna create even more wealth for myself. So it all worked out for the best.
See, the last time you and I spoke, I guess we were both happier because I dropped 30. Let's see, from 238 to 195. So that would be 43 pounds, and I guess you did some damage as well.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I did 40 pounds, 50 pounds. So I'm doing all right.
That's both of us. What did you do to lose the weight? I did detoxing.
I actually started walking.
Myself up with what's that?
I started walking at first, right? I did a lot of walking because I had to do a lot of thinking, right? So walking helps you think and clear your mind. You know what I mean? And I would do that like for 5 times a day for 20 minutes. And then I lost a lot of weight that way. And then I said, you know what? I want to like really improve my game, and I decided to go to the gym. I got myself a trainer, and I've been going to the gym every single day. Only today I missed today's gym workout for the first time in like over 2 months because I overdid it. I did 2 hours of mixed martial arts combat training last night, and I was dog tired.
See, I did the opposite. You concentrated on exercise. I concentrated on diet.
Yeah.
So I've been doing these detox smoothies everybody's heard me talk about.
Oh, cool. I've also
10 fruits, 5 vegetables.
Oh yeah. I've also concentrated on diet. I've just lowered my what's my calorie intake and just watch what I'm eating so that it's always under the calorie amount as well. So that also helps as well. But I didn't change what I ate.
I guess one of the rules in the house now is if the company has a commercial on mainstream smell-o-vision, we don't purchase that food product anymore.
That's a good idea, actually. That's a very good idea. Because that's the main thing that causes us to grow fat. I mean potato chips. Have you ever looked at the back of the potato chips? How many calories there is? I mean, 20 chips is 300 calories. So I mean that's pretty brutal.
Well, see, not just that, but if you're buying Lay's or Pringles, you're buying GMO basically.
Yes.
And that's almost the purest form of GMO. So you have to find. You can have chips. You just have to go for the more expensive brands.
Yeah, that's true. Anyways, I'm sure our listeners were.
And you have to learn how to stop it one ounce as opposed to eating a whole bag at a time. So as long as you keep it within reason, you'll be all right.
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of ounces and things like that, I guess that's a good segue here to get into Bitcoin.
Yes. I'm sure everybody knows that Bitcoin's is.
There's a lot of audio that they've heard us talk about Bitcoin. Is there a delay? Because it's like when I'm talking, I feel like I'm overlapping you here, and I'm usually good at that. At not doing that, I should say.
Yeah, maybe there is a delay. I'm not 100% sure. So, because I've noticed that there's a little bit of overlap, but that's okay. We'll get through it. Yeah. So,
all right.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Bitcoin. So I'm sure everybody knows that Bitcoin's made a new high of $240 today, and if you didn't know that, you know that now. And if you want to know what Bitcoin is, just consider it.
With the opening, Davinci, where did you start purchasing? At what price point?
At $1. And so, I was told by one of my viewers, Davinci, have you checked out Bitcoin? I'm like, Bitcoin? What's that? It says Google it. So I did. Researched it. Thought it was a scam at first too, just like Chris Wing. And then I read and read and read, and then I started, okay, you know what? Let me just look at the source code, because like I'm a software developer. I'm gonna find out what the scam is. And I realized, oh damn, there is no scam. This is a real deal. This is currency over the internet. This is like a new product. It's a killer app basically for software, and it's cash that you could trade over the internet. Who knew? Who knew that was even possible? I mean, Max Kaiser pretends like he knew all along, but but it just seemed unreal, because you can copy anything, right? You know how you can copy your music and give it to your friends. You can copy videos and give it to your friends. So why can't you copy Bitcoins and give it to your friends and just keep copying it? Well, because the way the protocol is designed, you can't do that. Once somebody transfers the Bitcoins to somebody else, they're gone. They're gone for good. And if you lose your wallet, the Bitcoins, even though they're still technically there, because you don't have a wallet file to transfer those Bitcoins, you don't have access to them, and neither does anybody else. So it's an amazing piece of technology.
Use someone's phone and use their app instead.
Use somebody's phone and use their what?
Well, you said it was an app, so I was thinking it was just you were using a smartphone app or something.
No, it's more than just an application. Bitcoin with a capital B is the protocol, right? Because you could call it Bitcoin. One is a protocol, and Bitcoin is also the currency. So let's just say lowercase is the currency, and capital B is the protocol. The protocol is just basically how two computers agree to communicate with each other, and that is the key part of Bitcoin. So, for example, you could write a software to communicate with the Bitcoin protocol, which is you're just communicating with another bunch of computers, and you could try to cheat the system by saying, hey, you know what, I have extra coins, and it'll just reject you, because the protocol is designed to say, no. No, dude, you don't have extra coins. Right? So that's how it's done, right? It's done through the communications between multiple computers. It prevents the double spend issue that you would expect from a computer program that allows you to send value across to somebody else. So you're like, okay, you can't send an electronic item over to somebody else without somebody being able to copy that electronic item. Well, they've solved that problem with Bitcoin, and this technology has added I believe is going to revolutionize finance, and it's made the internet the wild west of the new wild west, basically, of America, of the world, actually, because you could create anything. You could create any kind of exchange. You know how we silver bugs here, right? We love our silver, right? I still love my silver. I'm holding up some silver right now, and I complain about the exchange cheating us, right? The exchange is cheating us because they're selling a bunch of paper silver, and it's clearly being manipulated, right? So you want to do something. You want the guys who are in charge, right, to do something to stop this manipulation. But they're just ignoring us, right? If you could message them, and they will go take your information down, and then they will just ignore you. Basically, they say, oh well, it's not manipulated. But with Bitcoins, right, the wild west of Bitcoins, if the exchange is screwing us over, if we realize that MTGOX, the biggest exchange, is screwing people over, someone like me, can just go out and make a new exchange right? That won't screw people over. Now, how's that for market regulation? Right? Because now you have free market dictating the regulation. What do you think?
Well, I was going to ask too. Isn't there like a cap as far as how many bitcoins will be made?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's part of the protocol. So, if somebody tried to communicate with the protocol and tried to add more bitcoins than that's going to ever be made, it will just the whole system would reject that as well. So it's part of the communications protocol. There's only going to be 21 million. And that's part of the reason why the price right now is $234. I've got the price chart up. I'm actually videotaping this conversation and having my computer beside me with the price charts up as we talk, so that I can put this up on my YouTube channel and have a video with it. Yes. So, anyways, right now.
There's new people that we have in the chat room, and thank you, Davinci, for bringing us a few new people. I see some faces in there asking when Davinci is on, and I'm having to type in, refresh your screen so you can hear him.
Okay.
We are on FreedomizerRadio.com right now. I'm your host, Proof Negative, and Davinci J from YouTube is our guest right now, and we're talking Bitcoins.
Yes.
And I remember we had the Silver Futurist on with you, with us.
Yes.
And he was very skeptical about these Bitcoins. Is he still skeptical, or is he purchased now?
He's still skeptical, of course. As far as I know, he has emailed me and congratulated me on the success of Bitcoins. I would not. I think the congratulations is a little too early, because only because of two things. One, all my income that I've made from Bitcoins has gone back into Bitcoin investments. Sort of like I've purchased a lot of mining equipment and stuff like that with the money I've earned from Bitcoins. So, and then I also have a core position in Bitcoins that I'm going to keep forever, not forever actually, until I'm a multi-millionaire or bust. So once I'm a multi-millionaire, then I'll call it a success. But anything before that happens, you know what? It's still early in the game. Anything can go wrong. Anything can happen. But that's the way when new technology, new products come out on the market. Right? I mean, there's been a lot of examples of products that have failed. Right? There's been other currencies, internet currencies that tried, like flus and stuff like that failed. Lots of other business ideas that failed. It happens, and this might be one of them, but I don't think so. I've looked at the code. I don't see how it could fail. And if it does, if it is gonna fail, it's gonna probably fail because of some outside force, such as government. Now,
I was just going to allude to that.
Yeah, I don't.
I was just going to allude to Davinci that. Oh, okay. I'll
Go ahead.
keep myself quiet here. We're overlapping.
Go ahead.
All right. I was just going to say, I read last week about how certain governments are looking at regulating Bitcoins.
Yes.
And if they went to a regulation on this currency, that would almost spell doom, wouldn't it?
Yes. Well, the United States government has already started a little bit of regulation. They already put the camel's nose under the tent with the FinSec regulation, stating that that if you exchange bitcoins for cash, you're a money transmitter, and money transmitting rules apply. But if you exchange bitcoins for anything else other than currencies that they deem as currencies, stuff that they could deem as currencies, then if you're not doing that, then you can do whatever you want. Basically, you can trade it for other cryptocurrencies or other virtual currencies out there without any problems, and no regulation is held up against you. So the regulation is not 100% clear. take it to a lawyer would say, well, wait a second. That means if you just trade $1 for whatever bitcoins are worth at $1, you've become a money transmitter, and that doesn't make any sense. So they hadn't clarified what they mean by money transmitter when they came up with this regulation.
And it's not a bad thing. I mean, you're purchasing a product. Anytime we use a Federal Reserve note, we're a money transmitter. So
I know.
I don't understand the.
I know. That's how the lawyers see it. So they don't understand how that that applies to somebody who's just making a single transaction.
Money transmitter a bad thing then? Is that what I'm gathering?
Yeah, they're trying to regulate the exchanges, but they just didn't make it clear enough that they want to regulate businesses that exchange bitcoins for dollars. They did not make that regulation that clear. So that's what the lawyers are basically saying. That's okay. You know what? What's the good thing is that the government has piped in, and it's not a big deal. So that's why more and more businesses are accepting bitcoins every single day. There's there's new companies that are accepting bitcoins. You may have heard that WordPress is accepting bitcoins, Mega Upload is accepting bitcoins, right? Reddit is accepting bitcoins, and so forth. With 11 million bitcoins currently out in circulation today, with a market cap value of $2.5 billion, as written on the website. If you want to see these numbers that I'm talking about, you can go to bitcoinwatch.com, and at that site you can see the total number of bitcoins that are out, the market cap in U.S. dollars, euros, or other currencies such as the British pound. You could also see a few other things. How many bitcoins were sent today? Basically, there's been 400,000 bitcoins sent today. That's a total of 100 million, like $93 million worth of bitcoins that were transferred around. Now we don't know if somebody bought something with those bitcoins, or if they transferred it to another wallet or another address, and so forth. So what I meant by that, transferring to another address, actually, is if you want to know more about bitcoins, right, you should get yourself a Bitcoin wallet and learn how to use that. And you could, because that tool has a lot of features to it than just, okay, I'm just gonna get some bitcoins and then just gonna go here. Well, you can do more than just have them go to one place in your wallet. You can have multiple accounts on your one wallet, and that's how you can protect how much bitcoins you have. Because you can head over. I'm gonna head over on my website on my computer here, and you can go and type in somebody's address and see how many bitcoins they have. If you head over to, let's see here, blockchain.info, and type in a wallet address. I'm looking at one wallet address, and it has 111,000 bitcoins in it. This guy is super rich. Whoever this guy is.
And just think, what if he started at $1 a share?
Yeah, he probably did. But you know what? He could hide that, right? Because he could have more than one account. He doesn't have to have just one. And they could all, and the way the Bitcoin software works is that it consolidates your total balance, even though you spread out the money, the Bitcoins, over multiple accounts. So it's still connected to just one wallet. It's just multiple accounts. That's all. I hope everybody can understand that concept. It might seem a little confusing, but just assume that you know how you'd have like two bank accounts. Now imagine you have two bank accounts. right? One with $100 and the other one with another $100. Well, you have a total of $200, right? And you can have a software that tells you that you have a total of $200 in these two accounts, and that's the same thing with the Bitcoin wallet.
Hey, just a stupid question here, Davinci. So you can see everybody's Bitcoin holdings?
Yes, you can.
Or is that private?
Yes, you can see everybody because the blockchain info can change everyone's accounts and how much is in there, but you don't know who owns it. That's the problem. Unless that person, the person that I've typed in their account for, tells me who they are, I don't know who they are. They'd have to say, "This is my account."
Okay.
Right? Or else I don't know who they are. Now, there is more a technical and complicated way. I'd have to be like connected to the FBI and stuff like that, and be able to access what's it called, the ISP information, and then I can figure out, okay, well, this guy sent and received the bitcoins to this IP address, and I might be able to figure out who he is through his IP address, but who knows? He might have been collecting and sending those bitcoins from the library, and you don't know. So you don't know. So you could easily hide your wealth from the government with bitcoins with a little bit of effort, not much effort. You could hide your money from the government through bitcoins very easy with little or no effort.
Okay. Well, that was where I was going, and we are up against a commercial timeout here, so I'm going to have to pause for about 3.5.
Okay, no problem.
So we'll play a few spots, and I guess we could take a couple calls if somebody has any questions in regard to Bitcoin.
Sure. That sounds great. We can do some calls with bitcoins and see what questions and answers we can provide.
Of course, if somebody wants to talk silver, I'm game for that too.
Same here. I like my silver just as much as I like my bitcoins.
All right, so let's take our time out. We'll be right back. Davinci J is with us here, and you can find him under Davinci J on YouTube. Be right back. Hello again, Proof is here, and I want to talk to you about a brand new soda maker called SodaStream.
All right.
Now, the Proof House has had SodaStream for about a year, and we love the thing. We use it quite often.
I got a lot of silver here that I want to show you guys. You know, this silver bar here that I've shown, it's 20-ounce bar. It seems to be a numismatic bar. Google it. Check it out. For some reason, it's worth a lot of money. I don't know why. If anybody knows why, please comment below. And this is worth something too. More than normal, which is weird. But I like these things. Silver Eagles. These are my favorite kind of silver. But I also like gold. Everybody loves gold. Because it's so shiny and dense and small compared to silver. Hey, let's take a look.
Please learn more about Freedomizer Radio.
Look at that. The same size, so much smaller.
And also Facebook us right at freedomizerradio.com. Catch you there.
I like my gold because it's easy to move around.
Want to spread awareness to your neighbors, family, and friends about what's going on in our country today?
Yeah, that's 10 ounces.
Like the large number of FEMA camps spread around this country to lock
man.
like you and me. What legislators
I love this bullet.
strip states and people of their sovereign rights.
This bullet, we need to use it against the bankers. The vampire bankers.
Do your neighbors understand what is going on?
We need to terminate them with this bullet, this silver bullet.
To inform our population about this
Hopefully bitcoins will help too.
from a constitutional republic to a
Silver is what you use to store wealth long term. To me, silver is the cash, the real money that you move into. Everything else is an investment. Even the dollars is short-term investment. The real cash, the real money, is both gold and silver. This is where you move your money to when you're finally done making it, and you want to save for the long term. This is the safety net.
So pleased to announce
Safety.
ESP Botanicals is now
Investment.
sponsoring Freedomizer Radio.
Right?
They have a bath and body
This is
line of
investment.
products made for keeping your skin beautiful and
Safety.
healthy. But it's also for
Investment.
psoriasis, eczema,
Safety.
rosacea, and dermatitis treatment. They are meticulously prepared.
Oh
care
man,
products
let me
made
see
from the
here.
best botanicals available.
I don't really like
Committed to buying
silver
only
harmonics.
from the growers when they can and using the
so
highest
ugly.
quality cold pressed oils.
Just sort of smooth around the sides there. It
Organic
just
additives,
doesn't work for me.
Steam Express essential oils and the least processed carrier oils that are available
Silver
in
maples.
today's marketplace.
This is a
And
maple
for
with a
yourself
privy.
or someone special in your
What's
life,
it called? The
give the gift
Leaning
of
Tower Pisa
glowing
privy.
skin.
I don't know if you can see that.
ESPbotanicals.com. Thank you so much for supporting us at Freedomizer Radio.
There we go. Nice.
Lindsey Williams on
See it
Freedomizer
perfectly now.
Radio.
Negative, I love the title that you use on your radio. I thought about it ever since we talked on off of the air the
There
other
we go.
day.
This is
And,
another
I'd
maple. This
say
is
that-
a
that's an
2010
excellent title for a talk
commemorative
show.
coin, maple coin, for the 2010 Vancouver Olympics.
Rob Now and Live is a show exposing the fallacy of the right-left paradigm while promoting liberty and freedom. A plethora of guests will challenge the establishment
And Chris
of
Duane's
mainstream media,
Silver Bullet,
the world
Silver
order,
Shield.
and hopefully you. Listen to Rob Now and Live.
Seems
Sundays between
wrong
3
to have
p.m.
talking about
Pacific
Bitcoin
Standard
and showing
Time right
this,
here on the Freedomizer
since Chris
Radio
Duane is
Network.
totally against Bitcoin. Totally. But I love Freedom Gold. It's still one of his best work. It's just an awesome piece. I had to buy a lot of those. Because I loved it so much.
All right, guys, welcome back. Group is here, of course, and Davinci is with us right now. And, sorry, trying to kill this music. It's lagging. There we go. All right. Anyway, Davinci's here, and so we haven't really talked much silver yet. We do have a caller, but I wanted to get your short-term analysis as far as silver goes.
My short-term analysis for silver is silver could bottom at $22, $23 with the next crisis, only because there's just so much paper silver out there, and they can just make more paper silver, and they need to do this right in order to make sure that you, the average Joe out there, does not go into silver like they've gone into bitcoins. Bitcoins is an example of what silver should be doing. But if it did that, right, everyone would be watching the news, seeing this happen, and the news media would have guests like Jason Hummel and what's his name, David Morgan and Ted Butler, all explaining what's going on, and they can't have that. They really can't have that, right? Because then, if they had that happen, silver would look like bitcoins right now. I mean, if you take a look at the Bitcoin chart, it's off the scale. I mean, it's the chart shows that you know what, this thing should crash tomorrow, right? Like right now, actually, not tomorrow, right now. There's like no way this could go any higher. No way. You could take a look at all the data points, from the slow tick tactics to the R side to the MACDs, and with the Bollinger Bands. I mean, this thing is outside the Bollinger Band for way too long. Every single indicator is telling you this thing's got to crash, and crash right now, but it's not. And I can't explain why. And silver should be doing the exact same thing. They should be losing complete control over it, because silver has too many fundamental reasons behind it. Bitcoin has no fundamentals behind it. So in an instant, Bitcoin can go to zero. because you know, its only use is as a money transmitting device, and that's its only value. So if that is lost somehow, then its value is zero.
So I guess that brings up a question back to Bitcoin here. Can you short the Bitcoin market
If you could,
like a George Soros?
if you could, right? You can make bets against it. You can make bets and puts, side bets, but again, it's not what controls the market. It's the physical that controls the market with the bitcoins. Well, physical in the sense that you actually have to take possession of the bitcoins in order to buy it, right? So that's why there is no naked short selling. There is no borrowing and selling. There's none of that. All you can do is go to a website and make a bet, which they call puts, and try to short it. But you know what? You're going to get hurt. You're going to get slaughtered on those things, because there's nothing. No one's going to take the other side and go and short the market. So you're just going to get creamed as the market just constantly goes up every single day without rhyme or reason. I mean, I just cannot explain this last move from 90 to 135, 200, from 190 to 235, 240 was the high. It's just astronomical. It was like less than 20. It's been 24 hours, I think, that this move is. Let's take a look here. That there's been like almost like a $50 move in the last 24 hours, and so it's just mind-boggling. Yeah, so it's a $50 move from the low to the high in the last 24 hours. It's unreal. I mean, it should have crashed and burned long time ago. And I can't explain where it's going and how it's going there.
Hey, there was a Michigan caller that put their hand down. If you want me to go to you, Michigan, just press the one button on your phone and I'll stop what I'm doing and I'll bring you on. I just want to let them know in case they were worried that we weren't going to get to them. There they go. Okay. Let's go to Michigan right now, and we'll go ahead and take your question. Welcome in.
Hey, well, thanks for having me. I just real quickly wanted to ask some advice for skimming profits at this point. With this move upwards, what's your personal philosophy like? What will you do with your portfolio at this point based on that move?
Right now, I've been trading in and out of Bitcoins ever since $45. And I would wait for any kind of consolidation move where it would go sideways and on the short term. And basically, you would see what if you put on the charts. If you head over to Bitcoin, let's see here, BitcoinCharts.com, and you click on what's it called, the charts at the top, and then you add in let's see here, the what's it called, price bands, right? You choose Bollinger Bands. You'll see a Bollinger Band, which is basically a band of where the market should trade in 98% of the time. And if the market trades in that band, and if that band is very narrow, then you know that the market is consolidating for a big move up or down, though, right? So you have to guess based on how it's been moving in that very narrow band where it's going to go. And most times, since I've been trading, it's been going up whenever it trades in that narrow band over the short term. So you could change the term to 1 day or 2 days, and you could see the short-term trading that's going on, and you can trade it that way. So right now, you can, if I were to click on 2 days with the Bollinger Band, and I add in the simple moving averages of 10 days and 25 days, and then you can see that it's in a small trading channel right now, but it hasn't gone in that channel for very long, but for only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, I believe. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. But if it stays there for a long enough time, you should buy, because it's going to go up higher. Now that's not a guarantee, of course, right? Because it can go either way. And the one way to tell whether or not it's going to go higher is that if it stays above the 25 period moving average most of the time through that band, then there's a good chance that it's going to go up. So, but that doesn't guarantee it either. So, I mean, this analysis is not 100%. It's only 60% right. So, that's the best you can do. But so far, it's worked out very well. I mean, you can see below. There's another band. If you head on the website, there's another band at the 190 mark, just at the beginning of this big move, right? It stayed at the 190 for a while, and you could see the band really tighten up, and then all of a sudden explode out. Now you could wait for the explosion and then buy as well, because that's another option to do, right? I don't do that. I actually went and gambled and go and bet before it explodes, and so that's how I make those trades. And then another thing to skim profits is then to pick a more complicated way is to use the what's it called, the Fibonacci sequences to figure out where to sell, because you want to sell. You want to put down a price to sell at, so that the market pushes through you and sells through your price, because you don't want to have to wait until, oh wait, there's no liquidity at the price I want to sell, and then you have to like move the market. Well, at least me, because I have a large amount of Bitcoins, so I don't want to move the market. So I would put it at a price target based on Fibonacci's sequence, which is too complicated to get into right here in this radio station. But that's what I use, and I come up with a number. I put in the sell order with that number, wait, and it hits, and then I buy back when it falls back down, and then I get some more as well. So I ended up from trading with 400 Bitcoins, actually. 400. Because I have I should say this actually on the air. Anyways, I ended up with 400 Bitcoins in my MTGOX account doing these trades. And yeah, I've yeah, because I studied trading with silver for so long and never did it. And because it was just too risky, right? Because I had to like deal with government and all that kind of crap, and the banks, the banksters, because you know what, you got them watching all your trades, and they know when to screw you over, okay? And then you got leverage on your trades, basically, for silver, because that's how the silver's traded, so you can get wiped out very fast. So I wasn't interested in trading silver, but I was interested in trading and maybe finding out when to sell silver and go into gold, and when to go back into silver again, as far as that was concerned. But I wasn't concerned about any other kind of trading. But that knowledge, that desire, helped me to trade Bitcoins very, very well. So I hope that answered your question.
Well, thank you. Absolutely. And keep up the good work. Your YouTube channel is absolutely phenomenal, and I really appreciate what you do.
All right, no problem. This video, I'm going to have a video, and it's going to show those charts that I was talking about up on my my website, so you could see the chart that I was talking about earlier on.
No, yeah, I made it over to Bitcoin charts as you spoke, so really appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. I just wish more people would have purchased Bitcoins when I mentioned it back in 2011, and I studied it, and I realized, oh my God, this is a game changer. People should get into this, and you know what? They could have just spent like $2-3, right? And they'd have $233 right now. But no, they treated it like poison. Like if they had Bitcoins, that it would change who they are. Just ridiculous.
Thank you very much. Keep it up.
Thanks. Alrighty, is
Yeah,
it?
I wouldn't say I was a skeptic, but I did not purchase any. I'll be honest, I completely forgot about them since you and I last talked, and then all of a sudden it spikes up. And I'm guessing this is partially because of what happened in Cyprus and what's predicted in multiple other countries as well.
I would say not really, because you know what? None of the media. None of the media ever. Whenever the media says this is a cause of XYZ stock going up or going down, that's not true. It's never right. Never. Right? Bitcoin was already on its way up when the Cyprus happened. You could say that, okay, well, more interest was gained in not in Cyprus, but maybe in the underlying countries like Spain and stuff. But those people, unless they're just complete idiots and they just went and bought anyways right away. Most people, like when you see something that's new and exciting, you take pause. You go and say, well, I don't know, right? That's what I did, right? When I first heard of Bitcoins, well, I don't know, and I studied it for a while before I actually got into it heavy. So I don't see people just jumping in like crazed lunatics. But I could be wrong about that, right? I mean, there are YouTube channels where people who are talking about how they bought some Bitcoins and Bitcoins actually comes from MT Gox and that's who invented it, and then they don't know anything about Bitcoins, and yet they're in it, and they didn't purchase it. They actually mined it with their video cards and then sold the Bitcoins and got some money, only to buy more games or whatever junk that they buy. But yeah, I mean, there are a few people like that, but I don't think they would go out and buy it just like that. Put your own money at risk, because there's only two outcomes for Bitcoin: 0 or an unlimited amount. Right? That's the two outcomes, right? It will either go straight to 0, or who knows how high it can go. It's not going to go there, go to like 5,000 overnight or 10,000 overnight, or even this year. But it is going there if it continues to function the way it's designed to function. That is, a means to transfer wealth to somebody else. And you have the choice of getting on the train now or later. And eventually there's going to be a bubble, a real bubble in this. Today is just a micro bubble, I wouldn't even call it a bubble, but I would say it's just got ahead of itself. Bitcoin got ahead of itself, way ahead of itself. And it will crash back down someday. I don't know when. It's just probably going to take a scandal for it to crash. But it is gonna. There is going to be a prick that pops it, and it's gonna collapse back down to some normal head levels. I could be wrong about that too, right? I mean, there could be no scandal, and it just continues on and on and on and on. It's definitely way ahead of itself. That's the bottom line, and it's very risky at this point to get in and try to skim profits. I'm very nervous because this looks like this last move, right? Because it's so huge, looks like a blow off top to me. Just based on everything I've seen in the past, it looks like a blow off top.
Were you considering taking a little bit off the top and selling it and then buying back when it drops?
Yes, oh definitely. Definitely that's going to happen. I definitely want to, I have like a lot of cash on the side waiting for this drop. So
do you see silver dropping below 20, or do you think 20 or 22 is about where it's going to drop?
yeah, 22 is where maximum it can drop. But then again, you don't know if there's a crisis. There has to be some sort of crisis for it to drop really big. And you're just like, it's sad because it's like in a crisis it should be going up. But because the monetary authority has to make themselves look good, there's no way they can let silver go up in in an environment of a monetary crisis. So I don't see my first favorite asset going up.
So if you wanted to take a minute or two and plug anything you would like to plug, and then I need to take a commercial timeout and bring on our next guest.
All right. Well, I don't have anything to plug. I'm just just some guy on YouTube, right? I have a channel, and I mine bitcoins. I have two channels actually. I have Xander Deep, but I haven't done anything on that channel. And basically, I like bitcoins and silver. Silver is my favorite choice, my only choice for saving money, because it's the real deal. And bitcoins is just a currency that's a risky play, but I feel that the risks are worthwhile because it is a new technology that someone has invented, and it works, and I believe it's going to work for a very long time. So at least get one. But that's up to you.
Yeah, I might have to. If it drops under 200, maybe I'll buy one just to see what happens.
All right. You do that if you can. If hopefully it drops under 200. I'm hoping for you. I'm hoping every day. Because I want to buy more.
You want to get that money invested.
Yes, because I believe that this is going to be the game-changing event for humanity.
I mean, there's no way this is going to go up to 3, 4, 500, but we never know. That's why we play the game, I guess.
Yeah, it looks like it could do 300 easy.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like. I mean, I just have to pass 250, then 300 is like snooze. You could pretty much put your money down, and you have like a 98% chance that it's going to 300 after 250.
Okay. I'll be watching it.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll have you back next month. While bitcoins are hot, maybe we'll bring you in like once a month or something.
All right, sounds good. I'd appreciate that. Maybe I'll show people how to use their bitcoins, what they could buy with their bitcoins, and how to set up a Bitcoin wallet on their computers and talk about that.
Okay. All right. So we'll work on May, unless you want to come in at the end of the month and bother me if you want, if I'm not getting you on fast enough.
All right, no problem. All right, thanks for having me on.